Let's continue to grind and shine. One day at a time, one movement at a time. Brick by brick, we should build this empire, right? Which what we gonna call the nation. As the room fill up, please be sure to smash upon the like button. Come on.
Spartans,
prepare for it, baby. You can also hear these episodes on your Roku devices as well as Amazon Fire Stick. Just look up Law Nation Sports. Let's go. Ain't no party like a cowboy party. But what about a draft day groove for you and you and you? Come on. Let's get it. Shout out to y'all. Let me know if the audio's straight. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hey. Ho. Come on. Come on. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. All right, so I hope you guys are okay with the first pick the Cowboys did. They went and selected a guy by the name of Mazi. We talked about this before the draft or what have you. Shout out to my guy, Okoye. He really got into the video first on Mazi. And then we said, let's look back at the tape. Let's see what this guy can bring. Now, he's going to bring a lot, and I mean just that, a lot of run stuffing capabilities, lateral movement. I don't see anything far as penetration out of his game. But one thing I can tell you for sure, that we're going to allow the other guys to eat, like your Parsons, like your D-Law, like your Sam Williams. You know, you're going to see a lot of that. And, of course, if he can keep the pad levels clean for a Leighton Vander Esch, that's a good thing for us, right? So now we're heading into day 2, which embodies second round, third round, right? So let's see how these things can all work its way out for the good Cowboy Nation and see if the Cowboys can combine a complementary situation. Like, you guys remember we was talking about this before, like the Cowboys don't draft to complement. Well, now it's going to have to be that. So it was what it is. You know, let's go Cowboy Nation. Let's go. Let's get it. Yes, indeed. All right, so I appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in. All right, so Dallas the Great, appreciate you for chiming in. He says, Law, Will McClay said he wasn't asked to penetrate. A pig is not asked to fly either. You know what I'm saying? And when you tell a lie, you know, I get it. I know what Will McClay is doing here, but let's be real. You asked to get to the quarterback. You are asked to stop the run. I never, as long as I've been on this earth, and I shout out to him. I'm not saying Law versus Willie McClay. No, don't put lipstick on a pig. You as a defensive tackle, you got to ask to do these type of things. Stop the run, penetrate, and get upfield. So you, nah. Look, I'm not out here, man. I'm not out here to sell y'all the bullsugar stuff. No. You know, no, don't y'all do that. Don't y'all do that. You know, don't y'all do that. Oh, it's like a DB. He's not asked to catch the INTs. He just wanted to bat the ball down. If it's in your head, no, don't do that. Don't do that. You know, don't be wee woo over here. No. No way. No way. I don't see that as a possibility. You know, he's not asked to penetrate. No. All right, y'all, stop that. Stop it. You know, look, the guy, for what he's going to do in Cowboys land, he's going to supposed to stop the run. We were 22nd on stopping the run, right? We were horrid in stopping the run for many of years. And the Cowboys and the Dallas Cowboys should figure out a way to help that out, and he was brought in to do such, right? On top of that, when you are asked to do anything, the number one game is you got to get upfield, regardless of it. I can't stress this out enough. So the Cowboys, we got us a solid pick. I'm not hating on the pick or what have you. I'm not masking the pick or what have you. Now, here are things. Now, you can be schemed to do certain things, right? You can be put in a situation to win on certain things, but naturally your gift will make room for you. You will shine. Of course, Shaq is not asked to shoot threes because he can't do it. But if he can do it, then he would do it. That's the reality of it. All right, shout out to you, Jay Echoes. He says, he's a great player, but dude has value. But does he have value to make sense at 26? Feel like a second and third round type of a pick, but whatever. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Jay. I feel you, Jay. I feel you, man. All right, so let's listen to some of the audio, and we're going to go over this. And on top of that, Cowboy Nation, just keep in mind, you can't paint this pick into a corner, because what will happen here is down the line, you will see, all right, cool. This particular pick matched in with the 58 pick. Oh, it looks even better. This particular pick matched with the 90th pick. Oh, this would be a whole lot better. You got to look at it from those aspects of it.
Yeah, I think we did have options, and we had a bunch of players rated, or not a bunch, 2 or 3 guys that were rated the same, and so we had a really good debate over who was the best guy for us, and mainly between big men, but Mazi obviously brings, an element to our run game, stopping the run that other than Hankins we don't have. So we just felt like a great fit for us, and really did something that makes us a better defense at the end of the day.
Michael Gelkin, Dallas.
This is from the DallasCowboys.com.
Mazi have on the rest of the defense.
Can y'all hear audio?
More early down success in terms of feeding into the strength of your defense, which is your pass rush. More opportunities that come from.
Audio kind of low right here. Let me see if I can fix the audio, man. Appreciate y'all so much for tuning in to the nation. We're going to try to fix the audio up right quick. Appreciate y'all.
On Mazi? Yeah, I think we did have options, and we had a bunch of players rated
better?
Or not a bunch, 2 or 3 guys that were rated the same, and so we had a really good debate over who was the best guy for us, and mainly between big men, but Mazi obviously brings an element to our run game, stopping the run that other than Hankins we don't have. So we just felt like a great fit for us, and really did something that makes us a better defense at the end of the day.
A little choppy.
Michael Gelkin, Dallas Morning News. What impact does Mazi have on the rest of the defense when he can give you more early down success in terms of feeding into the strength of your defense, which is your pass rush?
Y'all bear with me. Fixing the audio now.
That come from stopping the run.
Really clearly the focus when you look at, when you go through evaluation postseason, and it was clearly that, we wanted to improve our run defense. So it was a focal point, and I think this clearly does that. We love everything about Mazi. He was here on the 30 visits. Personnel guys, everybody had high grades on him. He's a great fit for us. But this, strength of one of our many strengths, we take the ball away, pass rush. We just want to get better on earlier downs, and we think this is an excellent fit for us.
Todd
Archer, the ESPN. In the past, you guys not taking defensive tackles if they didn't have pass rush. What was that put him over the top, and does he have the ability to have some pass rush?
I think that's correct. difference in philosophically. This defense, the way we've got it structured.
All right, Audio, get it together. Get it
A
together. There we
key
go.
player
There we
with
go.
that much lead, that much base, that much strength, that much disruption just from that standpoint, as opposed to, let's say, the number of sacks he gets. That kind of thinking, you wouldn't have seen that from us 10 years ago, 9 years ago. And but this isn't something we thought of on the draft board tonight. It's something that has been in the making for, frankly, well, a couple of years. And so because of the structure of this defense and Mike's really philosophy with how we want to handle our complementary football, as he says, this pick became the player and the style of play and the way he plays became more valuable. I'm simply comparing it to if I'd been sitting there 10 years ago for the Cowboys.
Now, what I've picked up over what Jerry is saying, basically, that old dogs can learn new tricks, right? So basically, we've been talking about this for many a moons. We've been talking about the Cowboys should go draft a defensive tackle or go defensive tackle early. And we're seeing literally with our natural eyes that the Dallas Cowboys front office, they're learning, they're growing as we speak. And this may not be the sexy pick like I said, but this is a necessary pick to help stop the run. Last season, let me see if I can pull this up once again for those who are out there. I really appreciate you guys so much, and you know we still building the plane while it's in the air, as you guys can see. The system is a little wonky today, but we gonna manage and fight through it, right? That's what we do over here in Cowboys land. All right, bam. You can clearly see that we're trying to improve this area right here. May have to zoom in. We're trying to improve our rushing defense, our run-stop defense, I meant to say. 22nd in the league. There's 21 other teams better than us. I'm greedy. I want us to be the best team, right? And if you can stop the run, there's two ways. You stop the run and you run the ball, shoot, you're a hard team to beat. If you can run the ball and if you can stop the run, you are a hard team to beat. Let me say this again. If you can run the ball and if you can stop the run, you are a hard team to beat. And we were 9th in offense of rushing the ball, right? We want to get better in that category. And we were 22nd on stopping the run. We got to get better in that category. Dallas Cowboys hard hitter says, Law, I knew it was a offensive line or DT. Yeah. and you were right on the money with it, fam. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you, man. I really do. All right, so let's listen to more what he have to say.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News.
This mug right here today. Boy, I'm telling you, come on, get back right, audio. Come on. No, I should have did. I should have downloaded the audio and then hit play from it. But
You guys
there we go.
phone calls all the time. Teams in the division made some trades. How close were you guys to maybe moving up or even moving down?
I got you right here.
Well, we had to turn down right before we picked.
That audio gonna be like that all day. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me, man. I got a workaround for that. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, it's crazy how this audio keep going in and out. You know, but all right, y'all bear with me, man. I appreciate y'all so much, man. Appreciate you guys. While I fix this, I'm gonna build a plane.
After having the discussions regarding the player and just going over, you notice we took all the time. And the main reason was that for the full time we were talking, we had a trade that we could take, might have taken, hanging with a couple of rebuttals to that as we were getting. So as we made this pick, we had trades in works.
Will, can you go into detail of just Mazi's traits, his strengths that you see him bring here?
Well, I think
Yeah, that's getting on my nerve right here. Hold on, let's see where we at. Appreciate y'all so much. We gonna fix it, man. And we might be close. There we go. Got it fixed right here.
Just start off.
Here we go. We got it fixed now.
Talking, we had a trade that we could take, might have
Get your butt
taken,
up here.
hanging with a couple of rebuttals to that as we were getting. So as we made this pick, we had trades in works.
Will, can you go into detail of just Mazi's traits, his strengths that you see him bring here?
Well, I think we've said up here, Mike's talked, when he's come in here, he's talked about building a bigger, stronger, faster football team. We've continued to do that, and when you look at Mazi, you haven't got teams run the football now. As you see things change and you look at our division, a guy that can stop that, a guy that can add that value to our defense, as well as I think there's ability for him to be able to rush the passer. You watch the Michigan tape, he's playing flat stance, doesn't get after the passer. Well, you change things up, you put him with Dan and AD, and within our defense, not only can he stop the run, but we feel like there's upside in rushing the passer as well, and being a disruptive force.
How much do you consider the tight ends? I know report.
All right, so before he go into that, when you talk about flat stance and in that particular scheme and system, he wasn't considered to rush the passer, then that's shame on Harbaugh if that's the case in the situation and scenario, right? Because we can clearly look at this thing and say, all right, cool, everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. And getting to the quarterback is everything. And stopping the run and getting tackles for losses is another thing. I equate tackles for losses equivalent to also, dare I say, to a sack. Now, we can put the lipstick on the pig and say, yeah, man, but he wasn't asked to do said things. And what he did for that particular scheme and system, it was serviceable just enough. When you penetrate, when you can stop and get things going, that equates tackles for losses. That means that you are destroying your guy, you're getting off of your blocks, you're disengaging, and you getting upfield. You're ripping, getting upfield. You demolishing the opposition, and you're getting upfield. So these guys going into this situation, coming into this particular world that we are talking about, keep this in mind. This is a pass-happy league. This is a league that you got to get to the quarterback. You got to clog running lanes and still grab a snack on the way there. If you can't get off your blocks, if you can't penetrate, and if you can't destroy the two, then you are doing very much the same. And that is the reality of it, Cowboy Nation. Jay SoCal says Mazi is powerful and fast like Aaron Donald. Stop it. Stop it. I appreciate the support. But let Aaron Donald be in his own space. Let Aaron Donald be Aaron Donald. Let Mazi be Mazi. Let Mazi create his own lane. Let Mazi be him. Now, granted, if you want to use comps or what have you, use more of the size of what he is. He's 330, 325. You can start looking at those type of things. But quick twitch, that's what Aaron Donald was able to do. He was able to get upfield at 275, 280. So look. I get what y'all said. Mazi guy is bench press 325, 22 times at the combine. No, it was 225, not 325. I don't know what he didn't bench press 325 22 times. That would have been a record. He did 225. He 225 34 times. He didn't do 325. 34 times or 22 times. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. Joe Jose, appreciate you. He says, Cowboys denied trade from Chiefs. Chiefs were trying to get Mazi, but then settled for an edge rusher. According to who? According to who? And I appreciate, Abara, appreciate your support. According to who? You Google it? No, not at Michigan. No, at Michigan he did. At Michigan, look, Michigan gonna always let's pro day, According to who? 34 times 225, 22 times 325. All right. Well, I got to see that again. According to Andy Reid, well, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. Because, excuse me, didn't the Chiefs get an edge rusher last year in the first round? There's a lot of smoke and mirrors. Look, I don't want you guys. The Cowboys are the team that give out all of the resources. Hey, man, we really wanted this guy. Hey, man, we really had this guy as our top pick. That's what the Cowboys do. The Chiefs already had Chris Jones. They already have interior. Now, granted, you add more and more interior to it, yeah. But don't fall for it now. That's just what it is. Now, granted, the Cowboys got their own plan and philosophy. We the ones love to leak out the information. Don't fall for it now. Don't be that. You know, Chief wanted to move up and get him. Well, put it like this. There's a fool every second. You know, there's a fool, a sucker could be sold any minute. You know, so it's just what it is. According to the Cowboys war room, yeah, you know. So look, don't, if your pick is who it is, then work on your pick. But don't try to window dress and say, hey, man, this is what makes it even more better because this team wanted him. No, your pick is your pick. Your pick is your pick.
And Meyer was there, and then you said the edge rushers. I think Bracey and Nolan Smith were there. How much do you consider that, and you came back to this run style?
That's tactical for with tomorrow ahead of us and the next day ahead of us. So I won't be.
Army Mom, that's propaganda. That's what that is. It's propaganda. It's propaganda. That's what that is. That's what that is. If you want to tell somebody, yeah, I really like that, but you really don't, you would tell them I really like that so that you can get what you really want. And that's just how this thing goes. Don't be foolish into thinking that people advise and show you your plan or detail their strategy or detail their thoughts and their wants. Don't fall for it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's just how it goes.
Watch what we say here. Last year I showed you the damn draft board. I barely got back in the building by training camp.
He's
I was
coachable,
barred.
I'll say that.
I was barred from the building. So so much for that. But so I'm not going to give you the draft board this time here.
Right, but there was an opportunity to make an offensive pick, and you went defense here. Again, it just reinforces what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, and let's be a little careful there. That wasn't the angst that you might have thought it would be, as whether offense or defense with this pick. We did a lot of defense in the past. I mean, the last 2 years, but still, that was not an issue of offense or defense. It got down, fortunately for us, player to player, the specifics of a player. Mike or Stephen, you might want to
definitely.
comment on that.
I know when we went home last night and again this morning, we were right where we wanted to be as far as who we were talking about, the body type that we were looking for. So this is an excellent pick for us.
And I do believe depth that, other positions play into your strategy too.
No doubt.
The last time y'all drafted a defensive tackle in the first round was Russell Maryland. Is this something that you feel like and obviously that kind of helped jumpstart a couple Super Bowls there? Is this the kind of thing you feel like could do it again?
Well, I'll tell you this, pretty familiar with Russell Maryland. He played there at Miami at the time.
Yep.
And and we used a number 1 pick on him at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And got a lot of flack for over picking at that time. Russell was undersized at the time, and
yeah, he
of course
was.
He had a great career here.
I think he was like 275.
He's still number 1 in character and quality.
280.
he's turned out to be that way 33 years later. But hopefully we got a player of that kind of quality or those kind of characteristics there. This Russell's different, a different guy. Russell's was a gapper type player, and in that sense, as far as the type of player these guys are. But you know, we were walking out the door yesterday. I had him, and he goes, "Mazi," yesterday. So this was kind of some things that worked that way for us.
No doubt. He's a gapper. We're one gap guy. Different philosophies on defense, but it is good. It's refreshing for us to go get a one tech early in the draft and get our own versus waiting to send money over to somewhere else and get another guy. My thing is with this, you got to have a ton of patience with this. You got to hope that, you got to hope that he comes in with the mindset to say, hey, Jonathan Hankins, I appreciate you, old man, but this is my spot. Big Bo, you're going to be a little Bo today because I'm the one. I'm the one, right? And, of course, this should help out my guy Osa Odigi Ozua. And on top of that, whatever we do with Neville Gallimore, this could be a blessing in disguise for him so that you don't have to lean on him playing one anymore. You can just say, no, Neville Gallimore, you can get back down to 3 tech stuff, man. We tried to put weight on you. It didn't work out. You got the weight, but you didn't get the strength. So what we're going to do now is, we're going to allow you to be 3 tech guy. And Chauncey Golston, we need to figure out what he's going to do. How do you guys feel? Should he play more inside or outside? That should be the situation. Should he play more inside or outside? That would be the battle cry from there. Also, I'm going to talk to you guys about how the Philly thing is working because so many Philadelphia Eagles fans reached out. Oh, Jalen Carter, we got Jalen Carter. We got Nolan Smith or what have you. Hear me out. Hear me out. It doesn't matter who you got. It's how you work with what you got. Because at the end of the day, they got a new defensive coordinator. We got a proven commodity out of my guy, Quinn. And on top of that, Dirty. So we got pieces that's already familiar with the philosophy of what we're going to run. And like I said, just because you give keys to a Ferrari to a kid doesn't mean that they know how to drive said Ferrari. They're still that kid. So you got to understand that, yes, you got all of the bells and whistles, but do you know how to drive it? Basically is what I'm saying in a roundabout way. And our pick complements the fact that now you can see more out of LVE. If you want LVE to shine better now, the rotation down the inside should be there. One of the draws that I can tell you guys, or flaws that I can tell you guys out of Dan Quinn's system and scheme, is we try to fabricate the interior pressure with twist stunts. Hopefully, with this particular pickup, you don't have to worry about fabricating. When it's time for Big Jonathan Hankins to get off the field, because I want him anywhere between, this is no hate at Big Jonathan, I want him to get anywhere from 15 to 25 snaps. So now, hear me out, the rotation should be when Jonathan leaves and he wears down the front 5, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, maybe you should bring in Mazi, or maybe you can bring in Big Bo. Those two combination, it should work best for us.
Patrick.
Gentlemen, Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com, and this question is for any and or all of you. How exciting is it to be in a position where only a few months ago you guys needed to upgrade your run defense, but now sitting here today you have both Jonathan Hankins and Mazi Smith going forward?
I think it's a great point. I mean, I think it just clearly points in a direction and the vision that we have, and these acquisitions have been right on time. I mean, our defensive production last year was outstanding. I know when you look at the way we take the ball away, we just felt as a whole we just wanted to improve in that area, and I think we've definitely hit the target.
Guys, I know you're here to talk about Mazi mostly, but you were remiss if I didn't mention the Eagles draft tonight and picking the two guys on the defensive line. Just curious what your take is on that and how that stacks up against the division as well, and for any of you.
Good, Will. It looks like something. I mean, I think they. I mean,
We pick them, you coach them. Yeah, that's how we get 'em.
I've never personally. I've never really sweated with the other teams. I mean, you know, we all recognize players that we like, and you know, coaches and personnel guys. We fall in love with a lot of these guys. So you know, they're good picks to other teams. But yeah, I've never really sweated with the other guy takes.
Cowboys.com. Michael Parsons, there was a video of him jumping for joy after this pick was announced. How is this going to help Micah take this lead, not just for the near future, but really the long-term impact of his career?
Yeah, I mean, you look at our pass rushes. You know, we feel we have an elite pass rush group, and you know, just the fact of the matter, when your run defense improves, obviously you got some longer down on distances, which you know tilts the field towards our pass rush.
NBC in Dallas. Stephen, there's always that talk about drafting for need / going for what you have on the board. You guys have talked about the board being the most important thing leading up to it. Did you kind of feel like those two things aligned in this, that you were able to address a need while still sticking to the board and your top player available?
Absolutely, as I said.
No doubt. All right, so I'm going to field some questions right here. Someone asks, can Mazi played 3 tech on early downs. It depends. I truly believe that this is a luxury for us at this point. This is a luxury for us because normally it's the inverse, right? Normally it's the inverse. Normally we would ask the 3 tech, can they play 1 tech, right? Normally we ask, can the 3 tech play the 1 tech role? And we've been trying to do that. We've seen the Cowboys line Gallimore at 0. We even seen Osa line up at 0 and play some shades of 1 techs or what have you to help alleviate some of that voided area. Carlos Watkins, when he was here and for the Texans, and I believe coming out of college, he was a 3 tech guy, and we asked him to gain some pounds, put him at 1 tech. So now the inverse would be you draft a natural 1 tech guy and ask him, can he play 3 tech stuff? I think that there could be a possibility of that. I'm not going to throw that ideal away. He's young. He should have fresher legs. He should be able to. He's first-round draft pick. Put him out there. So I don't think that there could be a situation and scenario that you would look back at this and say, hey, I don't want him out there on pass rush downs, because he didn't have a sack in college, right? Well, if Will McClay and my guy Dan Quinn can work on some of his pass rush techniques and say, okay, on early downs, we want you to shoot gaps, get upfield, and get to the quarterback, make him your baby, then he should be able to do that, because we've been asking players so many times, 3 techs to do 1 tech stuff. It would not be an element of distaste or displeasure or disdain, that's a better way to say it, if you see Mazi playing 3 tech and you seeing him right next to Jonathan Hankins. Yep, we've seen that happen before. I think the last time we seen this before was the last time I want to say the Green Bay Packers won the Super Bowl. They had Cullen Jenkins, y'all remember him, and I think, who was the other guy? Was it Raji and Cullen Jenkins? Y'all remember that? Let me see if I'm right on that. 2010 Green Bay Packers. They had 2 big boys down inside, and that worked out wonderful for them. Let me see roster. Let me see Cullen Jenkins and BJ. Let me see. Yeah, BJ, Raji, and Cullen Jenkins. We can run that back. Yeah, I don't think that could be. I know it's different philosophy as far as the defensive coordinator, but sure, put 2 big boys inside. You can do that, and then when they wear down the opposition, there's more and more options. That's more and more. I'm pushing big bodies, can't stop me. For the 9-8, got to sell 1 million copies, right? So B.J. Raji and Cullen Jenkins was able to do it. I'm for dog sure can see the young version of this, Mazi Smith and Jonathan Hankins. And then when Jonathan Hankins get tired or what have you, which he will, then you say, hey, Big Bo. And then when Big Bo, you can have Big Bo and Mazi in there. Matter of fact, I think I was either listening to Sky Show or, correct me if I'm wrong, it could be DMV, my guy. And somebody was saying that, let me know who it was. I want to give them credit. They were saying that, hey, let's use Osa, put him at D-Law's spot, put him on the edge. He can do that. There you go. You will have your lineup as it relates to front. You can have Parsons, Sam Williams on the same side. That's crazy, right? Jonathan Hankins, because Parsons can be that outside linebacker. Jonathan Hankins, Mazi, right? Osa. That's a unique package right there that you can roll out if you want to. And then you can give D-Law a spell. Or it can be D-Law. Just put Osa on the bench. There's so many ways that you can do that now that you got a centerpiece. And then when Jonathan Hankins get tired, you can just slide it down, rotate it out. Or you can literally, how many more draft picks we got, ladies and gentlemen? There's still another D tackle that you can get. What if we double dip in D tackle? I think that's one of the things that let me say, I think that was mentioned earlier today in the presser. You can double dip in that. I still think that we probably need to figure out and solidify the O-line for your mind. Let me see if it's right here. It says Cowboys VP Will McClay, Mazi Smith, when Mike McCarthy came in here, he talked about building a bigger, stronger, faster football team. And we continue to do that. That's what Will McClay said, quote, unquote. So he is bigger, stronger, and faster. Those are elements that we need to do. D. Webb says, people hating on the pick will eat crow. Book it. I feel you, D. Webb. I just look at it like this. I think people are not hating on the pick. I just think that people are evaluating the pick before they can see the full picture, right? Have you ever seen those artists on the street corners and they drawing something and you be like, what the hell are they doing? And they just drawing. They just got some splattered of paint. They're throwing it all over on the canvas or what have you. And you be like, man, that stuff about to look crazy. Then they flip it upside down. There's viral videos all over the YouTubes and Twitter and Instagram. You see that person on the street corner just painting some crazy stuff. And then you flip it around and then you see, damn, that's a good little spot right there. Good little pick. Let's go. Let's go.
We had, 3 or 4 guys there that were in discussion at the top of our board, and they all fit, they all matched up, and, it worked out well. As we said, we were talking about Mazi at length all week as a guy who would be in that range, and Mike could be there when we pick. So, I do think it aligned. I mean, there's other, a lot of things go into the equation. We had other players that were in the mix, but there might be depth in the draft at that position. All those things come into play as you ultimately bring your consensus together to, make the best pick for our team at that point.
Nick Harris, DallasCowboys.com. What were the conversations like with Dan Quinn coming into the draft about Mazi Smith, and how fired up was he about the pick?
Dan and the whole, the defensive line. Everybody's fired about Mazi. Mazi made a huge impression on all of us, on his 30 visit. And yeah, it's like I said, there was some anticipation on this selection, so everybody's ecstatic. I'm sure you'll have a chance to talk to Dan at some point.
All right. My guy, Mark Holmes, D'Angelo Cranston says Mark Holmes already claiming that Mazi is better than Jordan Davis. Embarrassing. Look, this is what we do here. We love our guys. We love our picks. Leave the comparisons out the picture, because it's now what scheme they go into, right? What philosophy are they entering, right? You may have a pick that have more talent than the other, but will they be available? Will they fit in like a glove in your scheme, in your system? It's about, here's the problem. It's not about who's taller, who's bigger, who's faster. It's who can fit in the system, the philosophy, the principle. That's why I was saying that, hey, the Eagles fan, they run around, they got Jalen Carter. Yeah, on a sheet of paper, yeah, he's supposed to be better. Last season, I heard Eagles fan, well, they got Nakobe Dean. He's the best linebacker. He's going to be better than Michael Parsons. Well, according to your fandom, he may be. But what system and what scheme he's going to? Will the coaches know how to identify the said talent? Will they elevate the player from here to there? Those things count more than any other thing, than far as someone that's having more talent. That's just how that goes. So what I'm trying to tell y'all right now is don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. That just the low hanging fruit area. And shout out to my guy Mark Holmes, but I don't want him to fall into that trap, because it would be hypocritical of us to say that if Jordan Davis got here, then we would have been like, hey man, he's the best thing since sliced bread. He got to earn his keep. He got to earn his keep. So that's just what I'm saying. So allow these players to develop. Don't put them in shoes that's twice the size that it need to be. Let's go ahead and let them find their own shoes. Let's whatever they did in the collegiate aspect of it, wash that out, right? That's on the college level. Now it's getting over to what they're going to do in the Cowboys era, So that's just what it is. Let's go with it, Look, there's a guy on Instagram right now. His name is Lethal Shooter. He can shoot a three anywhere on the court. He can lay on his back and shoot threes from half court and make them. Every single shot, draining them. He is by far one of the better shooters I've seen in my lifetime. Over 40 years of living, he's one of the better shooters I can see. But he don't play for the NBA. He may train those boys, but there goes to show you, just because you got talent doesn't mean that you're going to be on the certain stage or on the certain courts or on a certain field. There are so many people, and too many people will fall in love with the talent but not fall in love with the ideal of the person fitting within your system and how they can utilize said talent. Now, I'm not calling this dude horrible and trash. He training NBA players on how to shoot. Look him up on Instagram. Lethal Shooter. Can shoot the lights out. I think that he would give Kerr. Kerr don't even can't hold that man's cup of water. Go look it up. Right. About type it in, Lethal Shooter. I'm gonna have to pull that video up so y'all can see. But it's all depending on where you go and system that you can fit in, and how someone can see said talent and elevate talent. No, that's my guy. 2 Trill for Life says, no draft picks are guaranteed at all, ever. Yeah, you're right. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you. Yeah. Somebody said, "Law, big Scorpion says, law people don't want to hear that." Yeah, but that's the truth.
Well, where do we have Mazi on our board? I'm not going to give him the damn good board. But
He was on the board in a position for us to pick at 26.
There you go.
14.
Now
I think he was 13 or 14.
Somewhere in there, right there.
Right there.
Just because you said it don't make it so, right?
What?
Just because you said it don't make it so, right?
Well, I didn't give you the draft board. But he was that high. It was 13 or 14 on our board. Man, who gives? Really, we got him. We
got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Who gives the S-H-I? T.
Yo. Tonight, can you go into a little more detail about that 30 visit and what the impression was from getting that time with him?
Well, I just think like anything. I mean, I've been around the league, a few different organizations. I think Will and the way it's set up, the interaction that you have not only at night when they come in and the individual meetings that each coach has, and I mean they run. It's a car wash now. I mean every one of those guys that come through here. I mean it's as detailed as a visit that I've ever been a part of. So, but yeah, I mean you can see the character, and we have a chance to talk through the things that he went through in his career. I like everything about him. I like the way he was coached. I like where he's coming from. I like the way he plays. I think this guy is an outstanding fit for our locker room and for our run defense.
No doubt. All right, so with that being said, D. Webb says Cowboys could use upgrade at multiple positions, but they're not desperate for anything. Great spot to be in. I trust Will McClay's track record. Yep. And here's my 1,000 truths. The Dallas Cowboys, on all of their draft picks, they would not tell you, hey, man, this guy, man, I wasn't high on this guy, but I moved and got him anyway. No, that's not how you do that. These guys, they see something beyond the mud puddle, right? They see something beyond the small things that you can say, okay, these are his inefficiencies. They look at his strength, they look at his power, they look at what program he played in, and they say, okay, I can elevate player from here to there. And that's what coaches do. Coach Marv will always say this, man, good coaches, great coaches don't run from coaching, right? So those are things that I like to hear from them as far as what the Cowboys could do as relates to that. Now, granted, we have more and more work to do, plenty of work to do. Day 2 is an important day. You got round 2 and 3. And if you look at this list, shout out to my guy, Defy Talk, man, does a great job, not a good job at all. Tell him, Law said, Defy don't do a good job, he do a great job, right? He got a list of possible prospects from right here. You can see Zach Charbonnet, and this is no particular order, but these are possibilities that the Cowboys can go draft today. By the end of the day, one of these guys' names may be called. On this list, you got Zach Charbonnet, you got Spears, you got Roshan Johnson, you got Marvin Mims, you got Jonathan Mingo, you got Nathaniel Dale, which we call him Tank, you got Jalen Hyatt, Michael Mayer, Darnell Washington, you got him, Sam Laporta, Osiris Torrance, Bergeron, you got Avila, you got Cody Mock, you got Drew Sanders, Trent Simpson, Diane Henley, Overshawn, you got Joe Porter Jr., you got Keely Ringo, Cam, you got Cam Smith on this list, as well as Tyreek Stevenson. You got guys that you can literally walk away from after day 2 and sit back and say, man, this complexity will be able to help us out. And this complexity also will be able to solidify our team just by these guys out here right now. Shout out to you, my guy, Lewis Johnson says, love your content, Law DC for life, not for short. I love that. Yes, indeed. All right, so out of this list, I would tell you guys, I want us to move up if we can, because I don't think that he will fall to the 58. But if he do, I'll play that button there. We'll go crazy. I want us to go get the white lion. I know we love offensive line for your mind, but the Cowboys still said that they still love their young guys. They fell in love with our guy, Matt Waletzko. They still got to evaluate Matt Forniak. They still got to evaluate Alex Lindstrom, I believe. He's still on this team. And, of course, they got the Joshua Balls of the world, right? So they may end up passing up on offensive line with the 58 pick. I don't think that Osiris Torrance will be there at 58. I don't think Steve Avila will be there at 58. I like Marvin Mims more at 90 versus 58, Mito. Appreciate you. Blocker says Jalen Hyatt. Yeah, I would like this to be more of a situation that the Cowboys evaluate their board, and they can still go with a defense deal. I love defense. Defense win championships, in my opinion. Yes, indeed. You want Army Mom says Hyatt or Mock, Cody Mock at 58. All right, so let's say, for example, you go with Cody. The man got no front teeth, meaning that he got nothing to lose, ladies and gentlemen. He's willing to risk it all, right? He going to play through the echoes of the whistle. So, yeah, I like Cody Mock. I like Jalen Hyatt, too, with the 58. Yes, indeed. Our line needs help. We need a left guard and a center. That's the only problem, is that they still trying to do true evaluations of who they already got. They may be high on Matt Forniak. They may be high on Walesko and Joshua Ball, whether it's smoke screen or not. And they already talked about the aspect of kicking Tyler, keeping Tyler Smith at left tackle, meaning that there's going to be a voided area at guard. And they talked about Terrence Steele being moved there. So what that leaves you? Oh, Tyler Smith going back to right side. That could be the situation, although I don't agree with it because you know how the injuries occur. But as high as we were on Tyler Smith last year, and I think that he did a great job, not a horrible job. I think he did a great job for what he was asked to do. He still allowed 6 sacks last year, and he was a first-round draft pick. Who coming out of this draft now is better than Tyler Smith in the second? JD says, Law, do you think the Cowboys will get another wide receiver? I think so. I think they will out of this draft. I think that, Neil, yeah, the best way will be to go out there and grab a veteran guy. If you still have your reservations. And I'm still keeping this guy out of the mix for some strange reasons. Keep escaping my mind. Chuma Edoga. I think he was a third-round draft pick in 2019. Is there some thread left on the tie for that? There's a lot of thread left on the tire. What's the deal with Joey Porter Jr. Law? This is from Army Mom. Why did he fall? I think that people what happened, I think that when Gonzalez left, Banks left, the overall team needs was like, shoot, we need more offensive linemen. I think they needed more defensive guys as it relates to up front. So I don't see Porter falling to the 58 spot, though. I definitely don't see Joey Porter Jr. falling to the 58 spot. You had to trade up to go get him. I think you had to trade up to get Drew Sanders, too. Dano says he's not a fan of Nolan Smith. Well, we all not fans of him now. Even if he do ball out in the Eagles land. But he is a guy that runs a 4.39. He's a fast guy. And he's got it they're going to put on their edge, and we will have to be mindful of that. All right, I think that I was waiting for someone to jump in, but it appears that person, I'm going to leave that person as a surprise guest. But let's do this right quick. Let's go to, I think that they said on the radio that old boy is live. Let's see if I can chime into this. Let me know if you guys can hear audio. I think it's
fired up about our pick.
Can y'all hear that?
Certainly he was a guy that we thought had a chance to be there, and one we put a lot of work into, had him in on the 30 visit, and
there we go.
Certainly we thought he's a guy a lot of people want to categorize him as a straight nose, but I do think he brings some disruptive pass rush ability to the table as well, and obviously we think rare size, strength, and quickness for that. And, obviously what we've done best in the past is rush the passer and take the ball away. And this guy, Mazi, certainly we believe coupled with a guy like Hankins, can really put us in a situation to where we can put teams in, the second and long and third and longs, if you will, where we have done our best work in the past. So just felt like he was the best guy. We had a couple other guys we were debating there with similar type grades, but felt like he was the best guy for us.
Steven, I'm not going to use the word flex. Like, we talk about player flex all the time, but has it felt more like with Dan Quinn's defense, he's wanted to make it very adaptable and that guys can be anywhere on the field at any point?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've transformed since Dan's come in here, and certainly we, under Rod, we were, Rod was looking for, in some places different types of players, but I do think we've transformed, and he does like the versatility of having guys who can, swing from the nose tackle to the big end to the three technique. All those are, that versatility certainly helps. And, like I said, I think some people want to pigeonhole Mazi as a strict, run stopper. And, I think he brings more to the table. We believe he brings more to the table than just run stopping, that he can be disruptive with his pass rush, and certainly add something, to that. And you want to have that multiplicity, if you will, to be able to, if they come out and they're passing on first down, that this guy does, is able to get an edge and be disruptive.
I like the use of that word multiplicity there. Now, yeah,
you're thinking about that Michael Keaton movie.
It was a great movie. I was driving home last night, and as I was kind of listening to all of this come together, I heard Jerry say, Dan Quinn said Mazi, Michael Parsons said Mazi before the draft even started and everything. At what point in the draft, at what number do you think you started realizing that reality was about to happen?
I just think, I don't think there were a ton of surprises in the draft last night. I mean, the guys who, for the most part, who went in the top 10 were guys we probably felt like would go in the top 10. And, there were a couple guys on our board that we felt had a chance to fall that probably wouldn't, and they didn't. And for the same reasons they got picked quite a bit earlier. But, for the most part, there weren't a lot of surprises there, and we were having – a lot of good debates that we were having 2 and 3 days prior to the draft starting in terms of what we would do. And if these 3, 4, 5 guys were sitting there, really working through each one of them, what they brought to the table, how they make us better, not only for this year, but for the next 4 or 5 years.
I have to admit, I myself was surprised at the slide of the tight ends. Was Dalton Kincaid, would he have been up for discussion at 26? And did y'all have any talks with teams about maybe bouncing up to 23 or 24?
We really didn't ever have discussions because we did have 3 or 4 guys that, we wanted, to have discussions about. And so, if anything, there was a lot more intensity put into the thought of moving back. But, at the end of the day, we just, felt like Mazi separated himself from the other 2 or 3 players we were having discussions about, and didn't want to take the chance of losing him. And as it turns out, there were, as you saw after we picked, there were 3, maybe 4 offensive linemen, I think, that were picked, to finish out the first round. So, I feel good about what we did, but if anything, we had more discussions about going back than we did moving up.
Is there any truth to the rumor that one of those going back would have been Kansas City and they wanted to take your guy?
You never know exactly what somebody wanted to take, but we did have discussions with several teams about moving back, and probably that'd be up to Kansas City if they wanted to say if or did they have discussions. So we don't really like to get into who they were, but certainly we had options to go back.
How quickly in the room do you guys have to do those discussions of, all right, hey, if we move back 5 spots, this is how many players, and this is what we think the teams are going to do? Like, how quickly do those discussions have to take place if you really are thinking about trading back?
Well, a lot of times you're getting those ahead of time. We're getting them. And, if we were really dead set, had we part of our strategy been that we wanted to move up, and there was one guy in particular that if he fell to a certain level, we'd be wanting to move up, you're having those discussions before that team gets on the clock. And
No
certainly
doubt.
we were getting calls from, 3 or 4 teams about moving up to our spot. And, some of them were, quickly no's because we knew we didn't want to move that far back. But some of them were intriguing because it didn't mean moving back too far back that you'd be out of your, 3 or 4 guys that you were really going to feel good about getting, with a first-round pick.
Stephen, how difficult was it to keep Jerry from showing off the board last night during the press conference?
I think he's done the last of showing off the board. But anyway, I know he had fun with that last night. And no, as I said, I mean, this thing, if you feel comfortable about your board, then then things get a lot less complicated when you know where you are on your board and you know how you feel about the players that are that are left, and you're calculating as you move toward making a pick, and things are getting pretty thin, and you want to have a discussion about moving up, you can do that, or if you're feeling good about 4 or 5 players, how far would you want to move back, thinking you could get one of them? All those things come about. But if you have your board in great shape, then those discussions are a lot cleaner.
As we go into the second round tonight and beyond, do you have any first-round grades left on y'all's board?
That is probably shouldn't get into that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
all right, then would there be an interest then in what was available? We were kind of surprised by some of the names that are going to be available tonight in the second, third, potentially third rounds. Are you interested in moving up to try to go get those?
Well, I think obviously the one everybody's focused on is the quarterback because it's a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So, those are, it's getting all sorts of attention. Certainly, your heart goes out for that guy sitting in the, in the green room there. But, no, he's a great football player. This won't define him, and I'm sure he'll go on to be a great player in this league.
I know you talked about the
Coins.
selection,
You dropping some
obviously
coins
excited
there.
about the selection of Mazi. I was kind of curious because of a selection y'all made last year. What kind of differences, or do you remember
Did
the
you say
scouting reports
quarterback or
offhand
cornerback?
for the differences between him and somebody like John Ridgway, which y'all also drafted, obviously later last year?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the definition of the round. I mean, obviously we drafted John later, and not to take anything away from John. John played well last year for the Commanders, and, we really liked him. We were trying to keep him around, and we were going to try to, like we do a lot of our players, move them. Sometimes we move them from the roster to the practice squad, and then they ultimately end up back on the roster. And, John was a guy we wanted to keep around, but Washington claimed him, and that's the risk you take. And, but obviously a good player, but a guy we didn't have rated, near, anywhere in the same vicinity as Mazi. So doesn't mean, just like Tom Brady, doesn't mean he's going to be a great football player because he was picked in the 5th round or the 6th round, or Brady's case, the 7th. It's
round.
just how we have them rated coming out. Obviously we have, Mazi is a little, more athletic, more explosive type of player. But John, came in and played really well for us. And then, we were trying to, navigate some injuries on our roster and thought we could maybe get John through. And the Commanders claimed him, and they got a good player.
Stephen, I'm very interested in the behind the scenes part of it, and we can see it on the War Room video, but we can't hear. And I was hoping maybe you could open the door a little bit for Mike McCarthy has an opportunity to put his stamp on this offense and say, I'm picking this player, yet he cedes and says, let's get the defensive player for this defense. Kind of what is that discussion? And it seems like he kind of said, hey, look, I want our team to be better. It's not about me.
Well, that's it. I mean, Mike, the head coach, needs all 3 phases to be great. And obviously when you're the coordinator, you want as many pieces as you can have. But as he said, if we can get whoever we're playing in, second and third and long, that's going to play into the hands of the defense, getting me the ball back, so I have more opportunities to, move the ball and score points. So, Mike, as the head coach, has to have a holistic view of it. And, not to say that our entire staff's unselfish. I mean, they want what's best for the football team. If your offense scores a lot of points, then it takes pressure off the defense to have to hold them to fear. I mean, all those things go hand in hand. Being a great team, you got to be great in all three phases. If special teams, makes big plays for you, turns the ball over, big returns, those type of things, that all goes into the, one holistic view of winning the football game, which is what everybody wants. The name of the game is win the game.
Going into tonight, at least for now, picks number 58 and pick 90. I was curious how the NFL kind of draft trade value chart has evolved over the years. And do you feel like every team has the same basic chart now, or do some teams kind of have different values for different picks?
Yeah, there's a couple of charts floating around. Not everybody's got the exact same one, but they're within the same area code. And, at the same time, a lot of this just depends on how much you want a player. I mean, teams overpay. We've overpaid. We've also been on the right end of the deal where, we've been overpaid for a pick and we're ready to move back. If someone really wants to move up and get a player, then someone might overpay you. But, at least it's a baseline. And, I'd say all 32 teams have some form of the baseline. And there's no question it makes it it probably expedites doing business in terms of what the expectations are when you're looking at a trade.
Do you feel like going into the rest of the draft? I know we talked a lot over these last couple of weeks about tight end, for example, going into the draft. Do you look at the rest of the draft thinking we have to come away with any particular position, or do you feel comfortable that y'all can be best player available at each particular spot?
Yeah, I still think you can be best player available as you move down the board. I will say this, best player, is within reason. I mean,
within reason.
One player is a 118, one player is a 120, which is the order of our grades. The nine grade is a player that doesn't fit our system or is off the board for other reasons, but has a first round talent. 119 is a first round talent that's off our board for a reason, whether it be medical, whether it be off the field, whether it be scheme fit. That gives you a feel for that. But, there's not a big difference between a 118 and a 120, as you can imagine. I mean, it's just a fine line right there. So, if you're looking at a pot of players, then, yeah, you might say, okay, I've got three players between a 120 and a 124. And, in that particular case, you may say, hey, we might need a tight end worse than we need a safety right now. So we'll go with the tight end.
Last thing I was curious about to kind of wrap it up is, I know you'd mentioned Will Levis was kind of the story of the draft. Any chance you can tell us if y'all have a first-round grade on him?
We won't. Like I said, that's just so unfair to these players to get into talking about grades and where people have them. So we probably won't go into that area.
All right, blink twice then for us, Stephen, just like always.
I know you can see me well.
All right. Thanks, Stephen.
Appreciate it very much, good sir.
Man, great
There you go,
interview,
Stephen Jones. And I will say, this is the fourth time we've had him on in the last 2 weeks. And
We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we have covered a lot of ground.
No doubt, man. Check out 105.3 The Fan to continue to listen to that audio. Cowboy Nation, great. Who was that? Which one of those K&C masterpiece that was right there? Be sure to hit those guys up on Twitter and Instagram and let them know, man. Law said, man, y'all knocked that one out the park, man. They did, especially circling back to the Will Levis thing, because quarterback's been a situation where the Cowboys been mocked to drafting this particular year. Y'all know DTR, my guy, Scorpion, he will let you know that it's Tanner McKee, baby. But Will Levis, he's a guy that can sit Indian style and throw the ball 60 yards, right? So he will have a hell of an arm here, and then, of course, it will bring on a whole bunch of talk conversations every time a pass by Dak Prescott is pretty much dropped or incompleted, missed, intercepted. It'd been crazy. But my thing would be you can still draft the quarterback, let it be in the later rounds versus being in the second round. But the Cowboys do Cowboys thing. And I feel y'all with what y'all saying, but the reality of it, the Cowboys were 12-5 last season, back-to-back 12-5 years or what have you. And let's see if the Cowboys can rev it up for the 2023 season and be better in some categories. And my first and foremost thing would be, can the Cowboys be better in categories as it relates to philosophy? Philosophy. Look, our 12-5 feels a whole lot different from any other team 12-5. Our 12-5 will feel like 5-12. That's just how negative the Cowboys are from some of the fan bases in the 4-letter, 3-letter network. What if I told you that the Cowboys all last season didn't lose back-to-back games, right? The people would be like, nah, man, that's insane. No, they haven't lost back-to-back games. But from certain fan perspective, oh, we were so horrid. We lost multiple games back-to-back, But it is what it is. Rail says trade up to get Drew. Then trade the fourth next year, third for Hopkins. Oh, okay. Well, that would be something to entertain, right? Dak equals interceptions from Mook. I feel you. On that. But the reality of it is that when you look at over his span of his particular career, he's not a high interception guy. No one mentions, hey, the guy had a broken thumb. But I get with what you're saying. Straight suckers. Yeah, shout out to you, Curdy. Appreciate you, man. Will Levis has potentials in the high ceiling. Dak has reached his. Me and Big Game James had a conversation about that. Did Dak Prescott peak? Have you seen the best of Dak Prescott? I would say even with that aspect of it, and we go back and forth with this all the time, even at his peak or at his height, we could say what, year 2021 or 2019, anywhere between that as far as efficiency level. I do know that the team collectively in 2019, we didn't win a playoff game because we didn't get a chance to get there. But it takes a complete team. I'm telling you guys right now, when you get tunnel vision and you only think about the quarterback, you lose 100% of the time. You lose 100% of the time. Law, do you have any truth to that? I've witnessed, and I've seen, and I know you guys seen, the quarterback that won back-to-back MVPs went to the playoff and didn't pretty much win a playoff game. Got choked out and lost, right? And he was probably one of the most efficient quarterbacks that you can think of. And now he's gone to the Jets, right? So we'll find out down the line. What does it mean? Do you need a complete team or do you just need the quarterback? The reality of it, you need the complete team, and you need philosophy and scheme to help get you over. And that's just what it is. West Coast, this is from Greg Berry. West Coast offense going to change players' value. It should. I think that even with that being said, Cowboy Nation, even with that being said, we should see some more of my guy, Simi Fehoko, deep overs. It can't be that hard to run a deep over when you run a 4-3 guy, right? But you couldn't see all of his skill set because he don't hitch routes, man. He don't comeback routes. Run this man on a vert. Run this man on a 9, basically. Run his on a deep over. Put him inside the seam. Let's see what you can get out of your players, and West Coast should offer some of those things. Tawan says, if Will Levis fall to the bottom of the second, take him. Yeah, I think that they will do that. He just laid that out. He gave up that information, and he had to give it out. Simi is a unicorn. Yeah, he's a unicorn, man, with the ponytail and all. So we need to figure out what he can do, and we need to also figure out what Jalen Tolbert can do. And Jalen Tolbert, I'll be damned if we take the baby and throw him out the window. You know what I'm saying? When they say take the baby and throw him out with the bath water. No, we shouldn't do that. We should see what he can do. We should. Yes, indeed. No on Levy. What about Drew Sanders? Yeah, it's just how it goes. But I think that Drew Sanders will be gone way before that chance and opportunity because him, Osiris Torrance, Joey Porter Jr., those boys will be gone. those boys would be flat out gone. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We got tons of things to go over this week. I appreciate you guys so much for being part of this. What we're going to do at this time, I'd like to hear your thoughts. I'd like to get your opinions, your mind's sake on this, and let's see what we can do. I managed to do this way, but I don't know if the phone line room going to pop up. Hold on, let me see what it looked like. Boom. It's going to look like this. It's going to be black for a second. All right, so give me 1 second while I set that up. And y'all can still hear me, though. Let's go. Let's go with it. We're going to open up the phone lines for y'all, man.
Call my phone, hit my line.
Brought to you by Power Hand, 657-390-7391. That's the hotline for your mind. I know I'm not in the picture there, but I'm going to figure out a way to put myself in there.
You are the only participant in the conference. All participants are muted.
Whether we East Coast or we in the hidden hills. In the poppin' straps of blue faces, not the pills.
Come on. We got to build the plane while it's in the air. Give me 1 second here. Keep it coming in, baby. Like 100 grand. Yeah. We building it, baby. Copy. Watch how we build this plane while it's in there. Boom. Wrong one. Cut 'em. Come on. Same ones in your corner wanna see you fall. Now I only need an account the ones who ball. Can't stop attack with no key, baby. Down to put it on the line when lose a draw with me. Those my brothers, different mothers, part of par with me. Got the Bonnie to my class, she break the law with me. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for life. Keep it super. Glenn from the 202, you're live, fam.
Hey, what's good, Law? Thanks for taking the call. So I think this is literally the first time I've called you back to back. So if you remember yesterday, we talked about the defensive tackle position, how we both thought that really was a premium.
Yep.
Listen, I'm not going to pretend that I know all about the player, but I think if people are going to get critical of the Cowboys, because I hear some criticism out there, I think you should have to identify who they should have taken instead. And I think sometimes, we try to get a little bit too cute when at the end of the day, this roster has very few holes. But the one hole that I think we can pretty much collectively agree on is that, the middle was soft. And it got better with Hankins in there. But we know that that's not a long-term solution. So I guess my question to you is, and this is a comp that I kind of came up with, I don't know if it's fair or unfair, but would you compare Mazi to a Vince Wilfork type, who's just basically a run stuffer, and that's nothing to sneeze at, in my opinion? What do you think of that comp?
I won't be mad at it. I think he's about like 30 to maybe 40 pounds lighter than Vince. But Mazi started off at Michigan at 350, and he got down to 330. So, and then I think he's saying that he's 325 now. So, and he still got the power of Vince. I think that the comp was from other pundits, or from other analysts, I meant to say, they had the Ontario Poe. And Poe, when he first was drafted, was very athletic, right? Catch ball. They put him at tight end, I believe, at sometimes, at fullback. So I think that Mazi will be a guy that we have to sit back and wait to see how Dan Quinn utilize him. If they're going to put him in some three-tech situation that could be good for us because of his strength. And it's a wait and see. I'm not finna put him in a box, and I'm not finna paint him into a corner.
Fair enough. I think that's fair. And I think I think that's kind of where I am. I hear people saying, I was watching a little bit of Undisputed, and Skip was talking about Kincaid, and he's ready to jump off the ledge because we didn't get Kincaid. Sometimes the
we
best
didn't have the
deal.
opportunity to get Kincaid. Kincaid went to the Bills. That's before they moved up and drafted him before us, right?
No, understood. I guess my point is that Skip was ready to jump out the window because we got sort of outflanked again, right? Because traditionally it's the Eagles who seem to have the intel on us and take a player right before we pick.
Right.
But I guess my point is that, sometimes you just have to take the player that comes to you, and that's part of the benefit of having a pretty solid roster. You don't have to start burning up draft capital because you fall in love with a player. You let the board fall to you. Now, the only thing I would suggest, and I'll hang up after I get your thoughts on this, or once I get the question out, I think the Cowboys should be open to moving up a little bit for some of these mid-round, for maybe to grab an additional mid-round player as opposed to keeping, the 6th, 7th round pick. I think they should be willing to say, you know what, we want to try to double dip on this mid-round because, again, the window is here. It's time to get some players who are of better quality, and I think we should be willing to get aggressive. If you're not going to make a trade during the draft, well, go ahead and try to double up on one of these mid-round picks. Let me get your thoughts on that, and I'll hang up. Great show as usual.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, Glenn. People, I just want to let y'all know that the philosophy was that we didn't have a lot of holes on this team. And the team that's running around with a lot of draft picks will be a team that's running around with a lot of reservations on players because of they may have upside, right? But they never played in the National Football League before. So let me use, and I'm not saying that these guys will falter and land on their face, but let me use the Eagles for example. They 4-letter, 3-letter network may say, they stole the draft. But if they are walking out there week 1 and depending on Jalen Carter and Smith, then that's a lot of inexperience right there. There's a lot of inexperience. Experience will whoop the inexperienced ASS all the time. Now, granted, year 2, year 3, then those guys may show something, but still they will be inexperienced. We're not leaning on that, right? And everybody, yes, will say they would love to catch a Parsons, a lightning in the bottle, but that is very slim to do. That is what we call, and let me know in the chat if is Parsons really generational, and that's what he is. That's hard to catch. So you're going to have to wait for those things. So that's why it's so important to make sure that you surround pieces with other pieces to help elevate. Black Lion said Smith in the 2nd and Spears or Abanikanda in the 3rd. Yeah, I feel you. I like Abanikanda. I think that he would be good. Smith in the 2nd, that would be something that we would sit back and say, all right, cool. He could be guard/center guy, and that could be a guy that we could look at the 58 pick. I wouldn't be mad at it. I am the last 8. Appreciate you for your support. Yes, Izzy is good. Yeah. Jalen Carter is an alien. I feel you, Greg Berry, but that alien you're gonna have to showcase his talent. You're going to have to get out there and prove that he is what he is. And that's everybody. I'm just using the Eagles for an example. All right, so we got my guy, MJ from the 206. You're live. Talk to me, man.
Hey, what up, Lock?
Not much, man. Talk to me.
Hey, man. I'm just getting a stupid car chat. Too bad. Excuse my French. Sorry.
You good.
I'm like, man, unbelievable. Hey, but I'm happy with the pick, and he already told y'all what's gonna happen. That's our new 3-tech. That's big, and that's what they need: a powerful 3-tech that can penetrate. And like they told you, he was playing the Michigan way, and he never had to do anything else. But since they got him now, he get to penetrate, stop the run. And that's beautiful for the Cowboys. That's going to make Micah and it's going to have Vander.
No doubt, man.
Hear me?
Yeah.
So that's going to be good for the Cowboys.
No doubt.
So,
It's a good pickup for them. I would say this: if they utilize him at 3 tech to shoot gaps and get upfield, I think that whatever they seen on the tape, they can coach it up, and he should be ready by week 1 to do that. Dan, if
he's gonna be ready.
Yeah, he should be. You drafted in the first round. I don't draft first round draft pick to sit on the pine. No.
Yeah, and then now you got him, Hankins. That's gonna have D-Log. That's going to be everybody on the defense. That's even going to help your boy, number 0, from getting hurt now. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, you talking about J-Rock?
That guy right there, that's going to help everybody. And then they're not moving up because they're going to pick them that second and third pick. The Cowboys not moving up. So all the Cowboy fans on here talking about moving up, they're not going to do that. So the Cowboys going to stay, pick that 2 pick, and that 3 pick.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you, MJ. Thank you for calling in, fam.
All right, family.
Salute, bro. Good call from him. All right, so, the Cowboys are pretty much in good position. Even if they stay with the 58 and the 90th pick, we're going to trust Will McClay. But if they want to move up and get some of that area of the guys that we had on this list over here. Let me see if I can pull it back up. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. This list right here, if they move up to get, let's say, a Joey Porter Jr. or a Cyrus Torrance, I wouldn't be mad at it. Drew Sanders, I would not be mad at it at all. So I do agree with my brother on that one. All right, so let's go with 19 of 92. Dallas Cowboy, man. You're live from the 954.
Yeah. Law Nation, how y'all doing? How you doing today, Law?
Man, well, man, can't complain. Ready for this draft day to get on over with. Ready for it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm going to say like this. That pick, this is like last year's pick, but reverse. How everybody sat there and clown, and I ain't going to lie, I was guilty of it because you had your boy Jermaine Johnson on the board, and I was like going crazy berserk about that. But then look what happened. We ended up getting Tyler Smith. It became a need. A need, not just a want. And right now the Cowboys, that was a need, a very important need that we had to get at D tackle because as you can see in the beginning of the season, teams were running up the middle on us like crazy. It took us trading for Big Hank to come to Dallas, and then when Big Hank he came in, we seen a difference.
Right.
Now, if you notice what Dallas is trying to do, we're going to have him and Hank come in and rotate. And number 97, I can't pronounce his name. He's going to be like, coming off the bench fresh and all that, doing what he got to do instead of wearing him out. And most importantly, we're going to be protecting Van Der Esch and also Parsons.
Right.
We can move Parsons all over the board. He can play middle linebacker, weak side, strong side, DN, whatever, safety. Whatever we want to do, like, and have our boy Sam Williams come out there and take that other spot to go across with D-Law, and we have a little misfit, nasty little D-line out there. So I'm not mad. Going to the days of the flashy Cowboys getting flashy picks. That time is up. Right now, we're trying to go back to our roots, like in the 90s, how we built our defense from the D-line and the offensive line trenches. And I think what the Cowboys they trying to do, the next pick I believe they're going to try to get is the offensive lineman. If not,
with
if
the
they don't
58
get,
pick, Avila could be there, Torrance, Cody Mock, and any of those guys. John Michael Smith could be there. Yeah, so, yeah, man. I agree with your thought tracks there, fam. I don't have no rebuttal to that. I do like the lineup. I do like that. I envision a world whereas, hell, you can have Mazi to play the 1 tech and let your boy be the 3 tech, D-Law, and still have Sam Williams on one side, and you can have Fowler on the other side and still have Parsons moving around like chess piece and can blitz through the A gap or B gap. You can't double team everybody. Go. So, yeah, I agree with you, man. You on point with it, fam.
There you go. Or it might be a wide receiver. It might be like Mims or whatever. It might be Mims or I think Hyatt, what's his name, from Tennessee, he'll be gone most likely. You got Mims. You got Downs will probably be there. I mean, let's just let the board fall to us. I ain't with all that trading up and all that. Hey, Dallas, Jerry don't know what they doing. Steven know what they doing. Let's get this 6th ring, man, and hush all these damn Bird fans up.
Yeah.
They gonna talk crap every time.
You know the levels of insecurity is when you worry about us, man. If we had, look, do you think if we drafted Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, we'll be over there talking to them? No, we've been talking about our picks.
Nope.
But their insecurities lead them to come over here because they don't know what they really got. You know what I'm saying?
They know that they daddy. They know that they daddy. And I'm telling you, Dak gonna get us that ring, man. All these haters out here talking all that crap. Y'all sit back and watch Dak. Who we got in the NFC? Who's a threat? We got something cooked up for the 49ers. I'm about tired of them. We got something for them, and we got something for what's the other team? It's the 49ers and the Eagles. That's it. I don't see nobody else. And
Appreciate
we own the
man.
Eagles. We own them.
We own them, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in, fam.
All right. How about them Cowboys?
How about them, baby? So you guys get me what I'm saying? Shoot. I mean, you got your own lady. Talk about your lady. Be happy about your lady. You know what I'm saying? You don't see Jay-Z going over there talking to the other lady. He got his Beyonce, right? He ain't talking. Well, he might be talking about whatever happened in the elevator. But you guys get me what I'm saying. But when you insecure, shoot, you over here rubbernecking, looking at everybody else's plate. Worry about your own food, Eagles. We ain't talking about y'all. Y'all talking about us. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. I got my guy Banks over here for the 757. You live, Banks?
Law was good, man.
Nothing much, man.
Yeah, man. As far as that pick last night, man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. At first, I was kind of, when I heard the name called, man, I felt kind of defeated, man. I did want Nolan Smith, man. You know,
I feel you.
At that point in time.
I feel you.
You know, but you know, it ended up wearing on me, man. You know, and I was like, yeah, you know, seeing how good of a pickup it was, definitely because you know, we definitely need the help inside, man. And then you know, we would have went on later on in the draft because we always get that mid to late round, you know, defensive tackle or something.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to try to, you know, wait to, you know, what I'm saying.
You had to wait. You had to wait for them to mature. Yeah.
Yeah, to mature. And I think, you know, Mazi come in, hey, I think he's ready to go. You know what I'm saying? With a little tweaking from Dan Quinn, you know, kind of, you know, try to get that pass rush out of him, like I said, because I do think he could be more than a run stopper, you know.
Right.
You know, I think he can help in the pass rush game, especially, man, if he learn how to use that strength he got, man, even better, you know, and you know, gain a little technique with it, you know, perfect his technique. Man, he could be a monster, man, you know. But, you know.
You could teach the technique, you could teach the swim move, to rip and disengage, but for damn sure you can't teach the strength, right? That's something that God gave that man. And if he got that strength and he can move stuff out the way, hey, I apologize, but if it is true that he can bench press 325 22 times, I don't care if it's 525, you know what I'm saying? 22 times. It doesn't matter. But if you can teach them technique, you know, I was watching this Kung Fu movie, Banks, back in the days, man. Bruce Lee, 115 to 120 pounds. That joker said, it only takes 2 pounds of pressure to break a knee. You know what I'm saying? And pound for pound, ain't nobody going to fight Bruce Lee because he had the technique. I seen him do this little move right here. He did a move like this, dude. And the dude moved by 2 feet. You know what I'm saying? Because he had the technique. He had the technique. And the old school Chinese movie, remember Bolo Young? Yeah, but Bolo Young was a swole. Bolo Young was swole, but Bruce Lee would whoop him up, man. Him and Jackie Chan. But go ahead, bro.
But yeah, man, so you know, like I said, I'm going to after the more I thought about it, because at the same time when I was thinking about Nolan, you know, when I was thinking about him, I was like, where would he fit in? You know, because I thought about him and Parsons coming off the heads, about say, you know, where would he fit in on that defensive line as far as, you know, especially with having D-Law, with having, you know, I'm having a brain fart.
It's okay, man.
Sam Williams and and all them, and I believe Sam Williams is gonna come into his own this year. Even better. Like you said, if he would have had more opportunity last year, I believe Sam Williams could have been close to double-digit sacks in my opinion, and he was good in the run game. So
4-4 speed and everything else, but
4-4 speed.
Here's how it is though, Banks. Here's how it is, Banks. You see, Sam Williams elsewhere would have been just mid, right? That's all you probably would have seen.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he's a 4-4, he's fast, or what have you. But Sam Williams here, we know that they are adding pieces and layers on his game that we know that is going to elevate him even higher, and he's going to tap into his full capacity. Yeah, and that's just what I'd say from that. Appreciate you, man.
So, other than that, man, that's what I got, man. Yeah. First, man, I was a little down, man. Wife's messing with me. She a Packer fan, so she not trying to joke. I told her, well, you ain't got nothing to joke about. So, I had to get on her too. So,
you didn't convert her yet, man. You didn't.
Man, I've been trying, man.
How many years y'all been married, man? How many years you been working on that, bro?
We've been together for going on 7 years. We've been married for 2 years, so I've been working on it, man.
All right, so
by
the end of this year, man, you'd have swayed her enough, man.
Yeah. She like real quick. Yeah, she like Lamb and Parsons.
Yeah.
When she watched the Hard Knocks with me a couple years ago, she was like, okay, I kind of like Lamb and Parsons. Watching how they were on the show and stuff.
Yeah.
So I try to convert over them, but Aaron Rodgers on gone. She's like, I need to find me another team or something. So I'm like, come on over, but she won't do it. But I'm gonna still try though.
Man, keep trying, dog. I keep the faith, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. All right, Law.
Go Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? He might have a chance this year. No more Aaron Rodgers. They got love over there. Hey, shout out to those, man, who had to convert theirs during the Campo years, right? If you had to convert yours over to a Cowboy fan during the Campo years, Dave Campo's 5-11, 5-11. See, mine was in the Romo years, and she came into the door one day and saw my head down, and she said, "Baby, why you crying, man?" I said, "That damn Romo, that Romo." You know what I'm saying? And see, my lady is from California, so they used to losing over there. She loved the San Diego Chargers. She's from San Diego, and I was like, "Man, shoot it, Romo, man, Romo." I had to put the waterworks on her, and she said, "Well, all right, I start loving your team." It took me a long time to convince, man. It took a minute. Willie T says Campo years were hard, man. It was hard. My wife, all Giants fan. I turned my wife to the Cowboy fans, and she loved it. It's from Tony. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you, bro. It's hard to convert them, man. It's hard to convert, but once they convert, they all the way over, man. Yep. Ghostface Gamer says, "Yep, Romo did us just like Dak is now. We still feel the pain, though. Laugh out loud." But I think that it was worse, though. It was worse, even though, man, because that's when it was like ESPN, when it was Cold Pizza. Y'all remember that? And then First Take really was launching, and all of the stuff with Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless at his all-time height, kids dressing themselves up as Romo for Halloween and stuff like that. It was literally everybody. Like, I think that the media hated the whole Romo era more because we had Jason Garrett. It was like literally we were stuck in purgatory, right? It was like what can go wrong will go wrong, literally. What's going to happen? Those 8-8 years were very terrible. Very terrible. We're a long way from there, man. We only had one losing season since Ford been at quarterback. But granted, we haven't been to the promised land. But you can't tell me that it was the same, though. It is not the same. It was terrible, y'all. It was rough, man, but we would still go Cowboys, man. Y'all can't tell me, man, that winning your end game 8-8. Don't y'all know that 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, those 3 years in a row were playoff years. You win, you win. And it ended in the worst way possible, baby. I promise you, man, I can't stand the Washington team to this day. Those 2 interceptions, man, God, dog. One was for Miles Austin. He was pretty much wide open. The ball was just underthrown. And then the other one was with DeMarco Murray in the flat. Come on, man. I know y'all remember that game against the Washington team. All right, let me get off from it. But y'all got amnesia over here, man. All right, I got my guy, JT, man. You're live from the 260.
Hey, what's good with it, Law?
Hey, man. All is well, man. I can't complain, bro.
Hey, so I brought this name up probably 10 times already, but the guy that I really wanted to do it in round 1. But Jalen Hyatt is still available, Law. Like, I think we got to snag him round 2. What you think?
If he's like move up to get him or just patiently wait at 58 and he falls there.
I don't think he's gonna be there at 58 though. That's the thing. Like, cause look, he slept on a little bit, but I think a team just because he's so fast, like somebody's gonna take him before 58. I think. Like we may have to trade up to be honest, just because. What do you think? Do you think he's gonna be there at 58?
I wish I had my my board together and I'll say who's available, who off the top of y'all dome, who are the best wide receivers available now, and I can give you that, right? And let's see if he will be there still at 58. You're like what are wide receivers we got left on the board?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I hope he's still there at 58 because if he's there at 58, like we can't pass on him again. I really have high regard for his speed, Law.
Yeah, there's some good speed though, man. But it's rough. I feel you, JT, man. It said Josh Downs. They're not helping me out too much. They want to send to Josh Downs, so that's a lot of picks. Xavier Washington, okay. I think that Jalen Hyatt could still be there at 58 if teams say, okay, the 4.41 speed is not fast enough what they thought that he can bring to the table. And teams pass up on him because of that. And then he falls to us, then it's going to be a lot of battles for that wide receiver in that wide receiver room.
Right. The other thing, and this is where I really feel like this don't sound weird what I'm about to say because I'm probably going to say something contradictory. Like, I actually don't mind the player pick of Mazi Smith. Like, I know that's what a player that addresses a need that we had. I'm just
true.
The only thing I'm not sure about is like when we took him up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because Mazi Smith, I think to a lot of people was projected to be still there at day 2. So that's where I'm not lost because I know that's the talent that we needed. Like, we needed a run stuffer, but the other thing that's weird about it is we do have Jonathan Hankins. So are we gonna have one of those like rare 4-3 defenses where we have 2 plugger nose tackles, or are we gonna like give the kid a rest? Like, what do you think?
I think that they're gonna utilize him just like I use this as a reference to 2010. Cullen Jenkins as well as B.J. Raji, for the Green Bay Packers. I think they're going to utilize him that way. A big dog inside, 2 big boys that can be 1 techs or what have you, and can give you some 3 tech actions, and to do away with the stunts and the twist stunts and things like that in the delay inside power rush move. So I think that if he can hold his ground and all of the tangible things translate as far as his skill sets, then I think that's how they're going to utilize and use them.
Right. Just off the top of my head, like, and let me know if you remember this. Like, off the top of my head, the only defense I can remember that kind of did that or tried to do that was Jacksonville. When they had Stroud and Henderson in the D-line? I remember that. Yeah, See, the thing is, though, Stroud wasn't, like, he was tall, but he wasn't, like, huge. Like, he was 309 pounds. Like, Henderson was 350. Like, that's the thing. Like, can Mazi Smith and Hankins play together? They're both massive. Like, you usually want a big, like, run-stuffer defensive tackle and more of, like, a quicker pass rushing tackle next to him typically. Like that's what the Rams did like a few years ago with Donald and Sue. Like you usually don't want two like dudes who are like because they're both the same type of guy. They're both like huge space eating run stoppers. Like that. Do you worry like maybe the defensive line would be a little bit too slow possibly?
Not necessarily. Let me go back to 2015. They went all the way to the Super Bowl. The Panthers. You remember them? They had Keywan Schwartz and Star Latuile. Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah, that could be the same type of philosophy there. You get big bodies down inside. I think 2015 Panthers were very underrated. I think that if you can go back to that type of philosophy of something running a variations of defense like that, it'll fit right into what we got. We won't have to worry about someone gashing us up in the inside and the middle because you got both boys that's inside. They can do those things.
Got it. So somebody brought this up in a chat, like the guy, what's the guy's last name? Like his first name was Osa. I forgot his last name.
Odigi Ozua?
Yeah, there we go. So he, to me, I actually think he could possibly be the guy, the idea I was talking about, like the quick twitch, like defensive tackle who could be like more of the, I guess, modern tackle that can get sacks, can rush the quarterback. Like he is a very underrated player, Rob.
You talking about Osa?
Yeah.
I mean, it takes 3 to 4 years, and he's hitting right at that time frame, and we've seen guys elevate their game, especially going into this year right here. He may give you 8 sacks this season. And it may be more. He may can hit the double-digit mark, right? If we really hit from Mazi and have that rotation with Jonathan Hankins and what have you in Mazi, so that could be a situation there.
That guy has crazy ability, though. Like I really believe in the kid.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you, JT, man. Thank you so much for calling in, fam.
Hey, Law Nation, stand up.
No doubt, man. That's my guy, man. Good call, good conversation with him.
The conference has been locked.
Let's get this going. Let's get it going. Aaron, we got Aaron, then we got Riverside. Aaron, you're live from the 562. What's on your mental?
What's going on, Rod? How you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. Can't complain.
That's good. All right, so look, I like the pick. I hope they, like you said, I hope they double up on the defensive line so we had 2 big boys up front, which I helped everybody else on the back end.
Yep.
Do you think Porter Jr. is going to be there? Because I feel we should draft him.
I don't think he'll be there at 58. I don't think that he get there at 58. I think that either the Steelers or the Eagles, someone in Pennsylvania, somewhere in that area, going to pick him up. I can see clearly a team looking at his assets and what he can bring to the table as far as his skill set. I meant to say. I think that they would take a look at him before 58.
And just, I was thinking, like, bro, can you see the comparison between Mazi and Marcus Spears, or am I tripping?
Say that again. Your audio going in and out, fam.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you better now. So repeat that.
Say, would you compare Mazi to Marcus Spears when we drafted him?
Marcus Spears?
Yeah.
Damn, that's a good comp. I think that he's more stronger than Spears. I think that Spears had a faster get off, but man, that's a good comp, man. I'm gonna have to look at more of Mazi tape.
Okay.
I hope he will be better than Spears though for us.
Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, because I was thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, he kind of reminds me of Marcus Spears, so we'll see. And then, what I was going to say? I think the Atlanta Falcons drafting Bijan Robinson was a blessing. So.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about Atlanta Falcons? Yeah.
Atlanta Falcons. I'm glad they drafted him. Like, he didn't go to the division rival. Yeah. We didn't have the pressure of picking him up, so we just, cool.
No doubt, man. Hey, appreciate you for
Yeah,
calling in, fam.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Laura. I'll let you go.
No doubt, man. Good call from him, man. Man, DeMarcus Spears, a long time ago. I think that Mazi will be it's a good comp, but I think that he would be better than him. I hope that he will be better than him. I want him to be better than him for sure, you know. And y'all get how this goes. Spears was a bust. Come on, man, y'all leave him alone, man. You know, he's a good guy though, good guy all around. And for what he do for the Cowboys community, he be fighting for us, man. We don't have a lot of people to fight for us on those networks. We don't have a lot of people to fight for us. All right, so with that being said, I got this Riverside John for the 951. You're live.
Where you been, boy? Where you been?
Man, live, man. I've been live over here, man. Talk to me, man. Holla at me.
It's cracking like it, man. It's been too long, man.
It's been a minute.
Hey, man, I ain't got nothing to complain about. Yesterday was a good day, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We got our modern day we got the new Jay Ratliff coming in, man. The new Jay Ratliff coming in, man. That's something to be happy about, man.
He's about 40 pounds. He's about 45 pounds bigger than Jay, though.
Hey, but that's why I say he a whole nother version. You know
a whole nother version. Okay, all right. Jay was strong. Now, no one can call him light in the britches. You know what I'm saying? As far as his strength.
Yeah. I don't know if too many people know about Jay Ratliff, man, but he was a monster right there in them trenches, man. You know?
He was.
But this round, man, I think we should go ahead and get a running back. I'm looking at that boy Zach Charbonnet from UCLA. I think we should go ahead and apply ourselves to him, man. Me personally, I like him better than Bijan Robinson and your boy Gibbs from Alabama. Me personally, I like his running style. He kind of reminds me of Marion Barber, and he got a little bit more quickness than Marion Barber too. So I really, really like that dude from UCLA, man, and I wouldn't be mad if Cowboys go ahead and snag him up. But I feel like we should do like a twist. We should do something this round where we would get 2 picks instead of 1. You know, so if the Cowboys pull something out of the hat like that, man, I think we'll be gravy and use that second pick on somebody like Darnell Washington. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Washington in there. Yeah,
Darnell Washington there. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't be mad at it, man. I would not be mad at it. If I can say that the Cowboys should trust where they're at, but if they value a certain pick and they know that that's the one that they want, then go get what you want. You know, I don't foresee all of these guys being starters. So go ahead early with your top 100 picks and go get what you want. This is your team. Go get what you want. That's how I look at it.
So what do you want, Law? I just tuned in. I haven't really heard your pick, but first of all, what do you think about the 2 guys I said? And then second of all, who are you focusing in on, you personally?
Well, I'm going philosophy based, whereas I said core, so interior guys. So we solidified that on the defensive side. Let's go back and see if we can solidify it on the offensive side now. So maybe a tackle that can play guard right now, or maybe straight up tackle. I like D1 Jones. He's still available in my assumption there. I think he should be still available in the second round. So you may have to move up to get him. Bergeron, he's there. You can figure out a way to get him. Steve Avila, he's out there. Osiris Torrance is there. If those boys don't fall, maybe in the later rounds you can get a Mafi. So there's a lot of options for us to solidify our interior as far as the offensive line play. Let's not sleep on Voorhees. If the Cowboys say, hey, they want to see what they can get out of Matt Farniok and anybody else and Chad Chuma Edoga, and they want to draft the guy and redshirt him, they could do that too. But I don't want them to do it with the 58 pick. nor the
Nah.
90th with Voorhees. I think that if the earliest you can be with the 90th pick with Voorhees, but I prefer day 3.
Day 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your so you way on the other side of town when it comes to agreeing with me and the guys that I told you about. So we way apart on that. I still wanted your opinion on those guys though. These the dude from UCLA and Darnell Washington. Do you think they're worthy of doing something? Moving up or doing something, trying to grab them at 58 or.
I think Charbonnet will be there at 58. And if you grab Charbonnet, I think that you got you a guy now that can catch out of the backfield, can run in between the splits, that can be your bell cow, even if you're not asking him to do that. That's a good pickup. That will be a good value assessment for us. You got a second-round running back that will match up with Tony Pollard as well as with Rojo and Malik Davis. Now, what was the other guy name that you mentioned?
Darnell Washington.
Oh, Washington. That will be your movable offensive line guy, right? He's a hell of a blocker. I think that he would bring a lot to the table. I've seen him stonewall Will Anderson. I've seen him being able, and who's pretty much top 5 draft pick, right? So I think that Darnell Washington will bring 12 personnel, 13 personnel back to the table, and he will be a guy that you can look at in red zone opportunities as well as some of the West Coast principle that we'll bring to the table. I think that he'll be an excellent pick for us, but I wouldn't move up to get him, though. He will be a 58 pick for me.
Understood, and I overstand. Hey, somebody told me to follow Peace with all, man. This was a good call, brother. No friction, man. You stay blessed, not stressed.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you, John, man. Thank you for calling in. That's my guy, Riverside John. All right, so I got Noah from the 469. What's on your mind?
Hey, how you doing, Lo?
All is well. Can't complain, fam.
Nice to hear from you after the draft, man. I think that first overall pick, I was kind of surprised. I was sitting there, had my hand over my son's shoulder. I don't know what he was thinking we was gonna get, but when he heard the name, his mouth dropped. I'm like, bro, that's how you know it's a good pick because you're only 10. You don't know much about football, and it's a great pick for us to stuff up that inside. And knowing that he's a defensive tackle, you know what I was thinking? I'm gonna go a little reach here.
Okay.
But I hope he turned out to be like a baby Warren Sapp or something like that. Because he got the potential, he got the strength, he got the power, so we can kind of work on this footwork to, make him a little bit better. I know he's going to be playing over the center, but sometimes he's going to be on the outside of that center to where he can, do that arm swift and get right to that quarterback. I know his sacks was low in college, but we translating to the pros, man, and working with Dan Quinn, learning techniques, it can help out it can develop his game a lot better, I think.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
It's raw potential. It's raw potential, right? Like Dragon Ball, he's Super Saiyan 1 right now.
And that's why I say I don't want to paint someone into a corner. I'm not saying that he will not. See, this is the hardest thing to be at, right? Someone who does content daily, right? And a lot of people will say, okay, well, what you said day one should be forever. What you said about said dude, no. But what I got to do is, when I see a player, and he had 0.5 sacks, right? 0.5, not a full sack, a half of a sack in his career, and 6 total tackles for loss. I can't sit back here and say that will be double digits, man. I can't sit back and say that would translate to double digits, even tackles for loss. I can't sit back and say even he wasn't asked to do that. You see?
Correct.
So because on the flip side, let's say he was asked to do it and he got 18 sacks, right?
Right.
So should we be like, hey, because he got 18 sacks, now all of a sudden he's going to give you no sacks in the NFL? No, we will be talking about, hey, this dude had 18 sacks coming out of college, right? And he wasn't asked to do it. So it goes both ways. And people, what they do, Noah, is that they will hear your objective analysis and they say, oh, man, you're talking negative about him. No, I'm just explaining what his resume is and what we should see on the next level, right? but these are the
Yes,
possibilities of what it could become. And that is the hardest thing, because everybody thinks that this guy is going to be Gold Jacket. And that's the same. If you go back last year and just listen to what people said about Jalen Tolbert, it was not one negative comment about him, right?
Yeah.
But when I said, hey man, that's good that he did it at South Alabama, now he's going up against pros. It's going to be a different world coming off of the LOS. Now people, you're hating. No, I'm just telling. I like the kid. I like the draft pick, but it's going to be harder for him to get from here to there.
And I noticed where, like, when we I'm not saying you, me, or the people in the chat, just Cowboy fans, a Hawk. It's like when they get too hype about a player, the expectations on that player is more than what it should be in year one, maybe year two. So I think when expectations are not that high, that's when the players actually surprise us. That's just my opinion.
That's where I want us to be like, hey, if this dude get 1 sack, 2 sacks on this level, hey man, gold star for him. Let's see if we can build upon that. But if he gets 6 or 7 sacks his rookie year, hey, let's see if he can redo it again, because it's the same thing to go even with LVE. We read his scouting report. We said that, hey, he plays better when his pad levels are low and everything in front of him is clean. He can scrape, rally, get to the point of contact, and be that guy, but he got to have help up front, right? So in 2018, what remarkably happened to us is that our defensive front was pretty much even with Antoine Barbecue Woods. And all of those boys, they were creating some opportunities to allow our linebackers to run free. But just like that, the next year, all of the things that we thought that LVE would continue to do disappeared. Why? Because the interior help up front were gone.
Hey, I got one last thing to say, and it's just to you, man.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate your content. I'm gonna tell you why, man. And I know people say it a lot, but I'm saying it because my notification has just popped up. The 3-letter guy that says he's a Cowboys fan, but not a Cowboys fan no more. And I just wanted to hear a little bit of what they were saying. For some reason, he had his mindset that we was going tight end, and I see how they twist that narrative that's the pick that the Cowboys was doubting on. And me watching your content, Boss and Big Game James, and everybody from the Cowboys that community that actually break this stuff down and think like a GM, bro, we were so far away from what them letter networks think about our team, bro.
Right. Ooh.
Like that's how they try to put us in the box as if that's what we wanted in the first round.
Yeah, that's what it make it a failed pick. You know, I told people, pay attention. They're gonna talk more about the pick number 26 than any other pick in the draft, and when they talk about the other picks, it's gonna circumvent about how we didn't do what they thought that we should do. He wanted us to do. So for example, they wouldn't talk about the Eagles pick in an isolation, situation. They're going to talk about the Eagles pick comparable to the Cowboys pick, right? And vice versa to anybody else that picked yesterday. And it will be the same today. And that's just how the 4-letter, 3-letter network does it, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I see it now, man, after listening to your evaluation and actually going back and listening to some of their older content, and even now on that network, I see how they play us and how they've been playing us over the years, man. Because I've been listening to you for a minute, and now it's daily. You know what I'm saying? For the last year, I've been listening to you daily, bro. And it's like, man, you open my eyes to a whole different way of looking at how we draft and how our team is constructed, and I really appreciate that.
Man, no doubt, man. I really appreciate you for calling in, fam. Call back tomorrow, a little later on today, man. We gonna be grinding today.
Okay, yeah, most definitely, man. Hey, my bad yesterday, man. I know I put Tank Dell in there. I was trolling.
Tank Dell.
I was trolling.
You talking about on live feed, man?
When I was saying Tank Dell at 26, I was just trolling, man.
Well, it's all good, man. I appreciate you for having fun with us, man. Thank you.
All right, man. You take care. I'll hit you up later.
No doubt, man. It's Noah, man. It's Noah Brown, baby. All right, man. Appreciate y'all so much for calling in and doing y'all thing. We're going to vacate out of here, but thank those who participated in this kind of review of the previous draft that we have yesterday. And we talked about the prospects and situations that we can have on this day. Wrong highlight there. Now, Kalijah Kancey, Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, all of those guys are enemies of mine. Now, they're not, they are foes, right? They're not friends. So if they don't have the silver and blue with the star on the side of the helmet, they are enemies, man. You know, I might have liked them before the draft, but now the draft is here, I look at them as a direct enemy. That's just how I look at it. We may like them before the draft, but now they are enemies. I can't stand them. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Y'all know how this thing rock. If I offended anyone, charge it to my head, not my heart. Y'all know I just speak with passion. I don't mean to call out anyone. So if you guys are feeling offended of anything I said today, charge it to me at my head, not my heart, y'all. Y'all know where my heart at, y'all. Y'all know how this goes. The Cowboys, whoever we pick, keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. There were not a lot of needs for this team. There were not a lot of needs for this team. There were not a lot of needs for this team. You know, so understand that whoever we get now, we're just adding pieces to the puzzle. Remember, I said that before the draft kicked off. We are right at a spot right now that we're just supplementing. We already did our workout. We just making sure we maintain. And I think that what Mazi will bring to the table will be just that, ladies and gentlemen. He will help us maintain. He will help us getting things going in the right direction. Undisputed shouldn't even question the first-round pick of the Cowboys. It's from my guy, Jay Lombardi. You right with it, man. Oh, yeah, you right with it, bro. You're flat out right with it, bro. They shouldn't even question it. They shouldn't even be allowed to question it. It shouldn't have been. Shout out to 105.3 The Fan. We used some of their audio today. Be sure to check them out and listen to what they had to say. Listen to what they had to say about these picks. They got some floating interviews around with Mazi. Y'all check them out. Check out He Just Arrived to the Star. That video should be coming around. Cowboy Nation, I get it. A lot of people like to compare their chapter 10 or their chapter 12 to our chapter 1 or to our chapter 2. What we got to do is continue to stay focused. You don't have to have too much of a tunnel vision on your team, but just stay focused. Everything will work its way out to the fullest. And I truly believe tonight, 2 more draft picks, could be 3 if we will and deal a little bit, gonna set us apart. No one is looking forward to running on us. It's my guy Terrence Shorts. Yo, be sure to check him out. Christopher Phillips said, trust the process. Yes, indeed. We're coming. And on top of that, Parsons, the celebration, the celebratory thing that he did yesterday, they call it the player's pick. Well, he is the alpha male for this team. He is the dog, right? He's the lion. And he knows when it's time to eat. You know, I'm not calling the other players on this team female lions, but I love watching those animal channels, you know, National Geographic Channel, geography of all of the things that they do. Well, the lion in his pride, the female lion do all of the hunting. Y'all seen it before, right? And it takes the one male lion to come in for the final kill. Maybe, just maybe, this is what the Cowboys is doing with their philosophy. Maybe that's what it is. All of the other lioness on this team, I hate to use them in that aspect of it because I'm not calling them females. Maybe they're going to do all of the hunting. and Parsons is going to come in for the final kill. Maybe that's the situation and scenario, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe that is what it is. The final kill. I'm going to call him the final kill Parsons. This is what's going to happen, baby. Shout out to you, Stephen. Write these things down. If there's one thing a man should always do, it's mainly to himself stay true. Never allow someone to change your point of view unless what they bring makes sense to you. Never judge a man from sight alone, nor by the height he has grown. And when speaking, keep it at a moderate tone, because raised voices turn hearts into stone. You see, in the beginning, it was our rival brother. How about them Cowboys? The morals of life, live, love, and respect for another. Then there are those who will try to be smart. They would take a decent man to alter his heart, to seek to rip him apart. Those men, like the four-ladder network, you should never call them a friend, because they bend the lies around the truth until it meets their end. Cowboy Nation. Yes, indeed. Willie T said that male line is going to eat some and fornicate. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, baby. Cowboy Nation, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go.
Damn.
Let's go, baby. The Animal Planet, baby. Give me my themers. Hey. Come on. Hey. Shout out to you, Echoes. So for the third round, pick the Cowboys traded away for D-Hop now. Let's go. I can see that happen.
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the
Shout out to you, Dallas Cowboy, Echoes, J SoCal, Jose, appreciate you. LT, thank you. 24K Logan, D-Web, Lewis. It's too easy. T1, appreciate you. Lord King, twice. Thank you. Come on. Shout out to you, Blunner. Appreciate you. Vivian, thank you. Come on.
Size, now it's about loyalty. You switch size off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Come on.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check a song. Lately, I just wanna
Oh!
We answered, I talked stuff, I thought we had it, but it goes to show you who's a better team, and I'm sticking Cowboys.
You're crying.
I'm hurt.
Whoa! It's a breaking news. I
love my Eagles. I don't believe it.
You gonna flop the hat one more time for the Eagles for the hard fight they did?
Let's go Birds, fly Eagles, fly. Still Super Bowl chance for now.
Hey, man, I can't make this stuff up, man. That's for all of the Eagles fans that's over here crying and stuff. Y'all let me know if that ever get old. Yes, indeed. You know, before I really go, let me tell y'all right quick, man. Somebody was saying, Lord, man, what you doing slapping people, man? What you doing telling people to lean forward? I said, what you talking about? And they sent me this video, man. They sent me a video of James Harden, you know, and I'm sitting here like, man, y'all crazy. Y'all out y'all mind. Let me see if I can find this. Let me see if I can find it right quick before I roll up out of here for real. Let me go to Twitter right quick. I kind of reposted and I said, man, he should have told the guy to lean forward just a little bit. Let me see if I can get there, man, before we get out of here, man. I appreciate y'all, man. See you, James Harden. He said lean forward. He gonna slap him. He gonna slap him right here. Lean forward. Right here. Yeah. Yeah. He should have told him to lean forward. Let's get on up out of here. Come on. Shout out to James Harden, man. He should have told him to lean forward just a little bit. Get out of here. Yeah. Lean forward just a little bit. If you're watching and you have not hit that like button, shame on you, man. Shout out to you, I Am Awake. Or you, appreciate you, fam. It was a little slap. Yeah, James Harden do look like me. I don't look like him. Yeah. I'm about 11 years older. About 10 or 11 years older than James Harden. I know he ain't in his 40s. I know he can't be. Gallup, appreciate you. You had a super chat? What you say, Gallup? And another one. All at one. What did you say, Gallup? Just repost it and I will read it out before I depart. Hit you. You don't have to super chat it again. Just repost it. Player 2. We try to get to all y'all super chat. I feel y'all, man. You guys are riding right along with me. Some of you guys been here before the beard.
I want me some glory hole.
If a baby grain can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
Damn shame what they did to that bird. All right, so what we got here? Gallup, you said, where are you? You said it. Let me see if I can find it now. My wife is a Cowboy fan. We cried together. I feel you, man. Yes, indeed. You didn't have to do no conversions over there. I appreciate you, bro. No doubt, DC for life. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Anthony.
On any given Sunday, yeah. Depend on you if you win or lose. You know you got to pay some dues to live on Monday, yeah.
Until next time.